All right, we are good to go. We are actually doing this webinar in quite interesting manner. Maybe you can hear there's a bit of background noise here. We're doing this live from Embedded World 2015 from Nuremberg, Germany. I'm Tuukka Ahoniemi. I'll be your host tonight or this morning, wherever you are. I work with Q Company in the marketing, and I'm with Nils.
Hello, good morning, good evening, good day. My name is Nils Christian Roscher Nielsen. I have a long and unpronounceable Norwegian name. I work as a product manager for Q, based in Oslo, and I'm now sixth time in a row in Nuremberg for the Embedded World, but first time live webcasting from here. That's very interesting. I hope you'll enjoy staying with us today.
So you've been here 6 times. Maybe you could enlighten us a bit. What the heck is Embedded World?
So Embedded World is one of the largest trade fairs in at least in Europe, and by far the largest one that we attend every year. We have a large booth here in Hall 4 where we are showing demos both of our new and upcoming technology. We're showing products from our customers, and we have some partners here showing their stuff as well. And we are walking around talking to a lot of prospects. We are looking at all the amazing demos and features that other companies are putting out as well.
Yeah, so we're actually doing this live from our booth, so we excuse if there's a bit of noise in the background, but this is a live situation. And let's start. Before we go into Qt 5.4 features, we'll use a small bridge through the Embedded World Conference themes. Let's talk a bit about the themes of this conference. Like, there's a majority of large embedded vendors here. So what sort of themes have you observed here in these 2 days since far, Nils?
Well, I hardly get the time to walk around. There's so much going on here, but we do see a lot of different things, and I think one of the most interesting trends now is that more and more devices are getting more and more powerful displays, user interfaces, not just rudimentary, low-resolution black and white displays anymore, but really powerful, high-quality displays all over the place. And they're not just dumb single devices anymore. Everything is becoming more and more connected. And we're seeing a plethora of devices that are connected to each other, to the internet, and through various types of technologies like Bluetooth, etc.
What's the buzzword of the day? The Internet of what?
The Internet of Things.
Yes, clearly. The Internet of Things is probably the most visible item here at the Embedded World, and we're actually even showing one of our IoT proof of concepts, showcasing that you can do cute applications that run on embedded devices, and you can reuse the same user interface in your connected devices, whether they're mobile or embedded. And there's a lot of buzz around IoT, but that's not the only big theme. The other big theme is, like you mentioned, those displays and graphics in general, and things like automotive and these infotainment systems. So
yeah, that's a very good point. And here we have a small selection, 2 of the demos that we're actually showing on our booth. To the left here, you can actually see a head unit and an instrument cluster from a car that's actually on the streets in Europe right now. This is a project developed by Magneti Marelli, which is one of our customers for one of the OEMs, one of the car companies in Europe. And this is a full display. The cluster, instrument cluster, the speedometer, all of the navigation information, etc., is done with Qt, and it has a full navigation radio, fully featured head unit as well, all powered with Qt, which is really interesting. But you also see on the right, there's a really nice demo from a company called Navico. They have a number of different brands and different products, but they're all based on the same platform, which is a Qt-based platform that allows them to have an app ecosystem. They can install on the same hardware and software platform. They can install a number of different applications to enable different devices to target different segments, etc.
Yeah, so clearly the platformatization or kind of creating these platforms for apps, whether they're internal or external apps. That's important, and it's nice to showcase these Qt applications doing that. But we'll be talking a lot more today about graphics and OpenGL 3D graphics. These are some of the features also shown in the latest Qt releases. However, when we're talking about events, I need to give you the big news for the week. We announced Qt Summit 2015, which is a magnificent global event for all things Qt, taking place in Berlin, Germany, in October 6th and 7th. So save the date. You can go to qtworldsummit.com to pre-register, not for the event, but to get more information of the event when we start announcing program, call for speakers, and you can start registering. All right, but let's move on to what is it that we offer with Qt 5.4. Actually, yesterday we released the latest version, Qt 5.4.1, and here's the big picture of our developer offering in terms of APIs. Now, of course, with Qt, it's not only the C++ APIs, but it's also tools, Qt Creator, or these deployment workflows. But if we focus on the API level stuff, the C++ and QML APIs that you get with Qt, here's around 20 modules. And as you see, there are a lot of different opportunities for creating user interfaces. We'll be talking today about OpenGL integration, as that's something that finally got a real nice enhancements with Qt 5.4 to Qt QuickSide. We'll be talking about Web Engine, our new web offering, so that you can integrate HTML5 UIs or create a browser of your own. Then we'll talk a bit about, in the spirit of the conference, we'll talk about IoT stuff, introducing our Bluetooth API and Bluetooth Low Energy, Canvas 3D for 3D graphics, and so forth. So let's start with the highlights of latest Qt features that we'll go through today. We'll have around 35, 40 minutes, 30 to 40 minutes, depending on how smoothly verbal we're going to be here at our booth doing this live radio show or whatever show this is. Not necessarily TV, but something from the middle. So first of all, we'll start with touching a bit on the licensing issues. We introduced a couple of new licensing options for Qt, mainly LGPL version 3. Then we'll cover our renewed web offering, the Qt Web Engine. So what's the purpose of Web Engine? What can you do with that? And why is Web Engine really something to be excited about? We'll talk about a few IoT-related features, mainly for doing connected embedded devices. Like mentioned, graphics play a big role. We'll talk about graphics improvements in terms of OpenGL. And of course, looking to our traditional desktop platforms and a bit of mobile as well, finally going into Qt Creator 3.3. But let's first start with licensing options.
Yeah. So in Qt 5.4, we've actually introduced a new licensing option for the open source version of Qt, which is the LGPL v3. So several modules, and we'll be getting a little bit back to that, that are entering Qt in Qt 5.4, they are now released under the LGPL version 3 rather than LGPL version 2.1 that we used to have. And
you can also license the previous ones under LGPL v3.
And you can choose to license all of the other existing ones under LGPL v3. We're going also to add more and more new modules to Qt under the LGPL v3 license rather than 2.1. Because we see that as the natural evolution of the LGPL license, and it provides a significant clarification for all of those of you who are doing embedded development as to how the LGPL license can actually be applied in the scope of embedded development. We're also doing another licensing change, which is we have introduced the Indie Mobile license for those of you who want to have an affordable way of doing safe and secure, commercially licensed mobile applications.
Yeah, and very nice thing about LTPL v3 is that it allows us to open source more of our components. So instead of creating just closed commercial libraries for our customers, we can bring them out with a better license to the open source community. For instance, the Canvas 3D, Qt Quick Controls, the forthcoming location API, and especially this thing here, Qt Web Engine and WebView. So
that's correct, Timko.
Let's talk a bit about our Qt Web Engine. So what is Qt Web Engine? Basically, it's a web browser engine. So it's based on the Chromium project. This was already announced like, what, 2 years ago that we started working with Chromium. So Chromium is, well, that's the browser engine. But the idea of Chromium is not that it's not really designed for application developers. So it doesn't provide convenient APIs for writing things on top of it or using HTML5 on it. So Qt Web Engine gives you convenient Qt Quick APIs and Qt Widget APIs for integrating HTML5 contents into your user interface. But the nice thing with this integration is that it's fully integrated with the Qt graphics stack. So it's not only just showing the HTML5 contents, but you can integrate it with OpenGL shader effects, with Qt graphical effects. You can embed Qt Quick native controls or Qt widgets on top of it and interact with the rest of your application. And of course, it's all cross-platform. And besides just being a web engine, there's a whole framework around it. So if you're, for instance, doing your own browser solution with Qt Web Engine, you get all the other libraries along with Chromium, not just that. Here's a small practical example. It's taken from one of our YouTube videos. So yeah, it's a screenshot of a video, but it shows it's actually playing YouTube on Qt Web Engine, and the YouTube contents, the web page itself is curled here with an OpenGL shader. So we've applied the Qt graphics stack and the possibility for using OpenGL there to colorize the contents and do a 3D page curl for it. Then on top of it, on the bottom left corner, you can see that we've overlaid some Qt graphics to it. So you can mix and match HTML5 with Qt graphics. And also underneath, there's the Qt logo. So, you know, you can, it's a full graphics stack. And of course, you could then integrate native Qt elements to interact with the content, for instance, the browser buttons or whatever.
Yeah, that's a very, very nice addition to the Qt family of APIs. However, it's not the only one on the website, and we're also introducing Qt WebView in Qt 5.4, which is a completely different approach to working with web content, especially at this point for mobile devices. On a small memory-constricted, resource-restricted mobile device, you might want to deploy a completely new browser engine or web engine when there is already an engine available. So for that reason, we've actually introduced the Qt WebView API, which is an API that sits on top of and uses the native web engines available on iOS and on Android, so that you can use web content in a Qt application using only native Qt APIs rather than the platform-specific iOS and Android APIs, and have a very smooth solution running across all of those mobile devices. This is also coming later to the desktop and embedded OSs as well, so that you can have the same application running with a deployable that is smaller because it's not integrating the web engine, even for the desktop. that's a really nice addition to the web stack in Qt, and it's extremely lightweight so that we can fit anywhere.
Yeah, so the idea of Web Engine is that, and also WebView, is that these are now replacing the old WebKit module. So we're actually deprecating WebKit in favor of Web Engine. The migration from WebKit to Web Engine is rather straightforward. However, there are small differences because Chromium by default is they're running in separate processes. It doesn't give you synchronous APIs to communicate with the web content, but asynchronous APIs. So if you have a tight integration into your web contents, you might need to rewrite some of the logics a bit, but especially in simple use cases, the APIs are very easy to migrate over. Okay, let's move on to connected devices and IoT stuff. So one of the kind of big things around embedded is Bluetooth, low energy, and communicating to different smart sensors. And well, here, in case of wearables or heart rate monitors, it's already widely used also in consumer electronics. And with Qt 5.4, we added support to BlueJ 4 and BlueJ 5. With BlueJ 5, we introduced a technology preview of communicating to Bluetooth LE devices. There are actually a couple of, if you download Qt 5.4, you get demos for, if you happen to have a Bluetooth LE heart rate monitor, for instance, you can hook your own device with a pre-made Qt example and try it out and see how the API looks like. But especially in the future, this is one of the important communication mechanisms to all kinds of different smart sensors in the IoT world.
Another really nice improvement to Qt 5.4 is that we've now introduced a Qt Quick 2D renderer, and this opens up a whole new world of possibilities, especially at looking at the world from the perspective of embedded world. There is a myriad of devices that don't have OpenGL acceleration available, and at an event like this, we see a lot of different hardware that is available with screens, but without OpenGL. When we introduced Qt Quick in Qt 5, we used the scene graph so that we have to have OpenGL that had a hard dependency on OpenGL. But now, with the new Qt Quick 2D renderer, we can actually bypass OpenGL completely, and we've introduced a 2D renderer based on top of QPainter. Now, we don't really recommend to use this as an unaccelerated solution on hardware without any kind of hardware accelerated drawing at all. It might not be the very best idea, but you can use this on top of Direct2D, DirectFB, or even on Linux FB if you really want to, but we really recommend something with at least blitted or hardware accelerated blitting, etc. This is a really nice feature that a lot of people have been requesting, and by popular demand, it's now in Qt 5.4.
Yeah, this will expand the install base of your Qt applications to a much wider range of devices, not necessarily running OpenGL. Moving on to graphics and OpenGL, let's first take a small side step, and I'll show you a video clip of one of our demos running here, the Qt Machine Vision. Now, I bet there's a bit of latency, but you can see there's a nearly live camera feed. Well, in real world, it's of course live camera feed, and it's integrated to OpenCV libraries. So it does face recognition and then also pattern recognition. So here you see senior engineer Andy Nichols showing his Qt logo to the screen, and it recognizes it. Andy knows what's good. But anyway, the idea here is kind of to show that with Qt Multimedia and camera and fluent Qt graphics, you can actually do quite extensive multimedia industrial automation, machine vision stuff using the Qt libraries. And also integrate to external libraries like OpenCV. But let's talk a bit about OpenGL and 3D graphics. That's one of the trends we've seen here, that a lot of, for instance, car dashboards are getting 3D graphics and lots of cool eye candy to them. And with Qt 5.4, we introduced QOpenGL widget and QOpenGL window that allow you to integrate OpenGL content directly with Qt widgets and Qt Quick UIs or UI components. So now we can finally deprecate the old Qt OpenGL module. So the old QGL widget classes are no longer needed. You can do everything in Qt 5 now with OpenGL using these new classes. We also have something called Qt Quick Render Control API. The picture on the bottom is showcasing that in a very engineering way. So there's an OpenGL item that uses basically as a surface, it uses Qt Quick or as a texture. So you can render Qt Quick directly onto OpenGL surface. Another addition we made was the new module called Canvas 3D. It's in tech preview now, but really worthwhile taking a look. Like, instead of creating hardcore OpenGL code, you can actually use a WebGL-like API, the Kronos WebGL implementation within Qt Quick. So Canvas 3D is a kind of a lightweight solution for creating good-looking visualizations to your Qt Quick applications.
Yeah, and there's also a number of enhancements that we're bringing to our desktop and mobile platforms.
Yeah, so even though the hype is
all about embedded here at this show, we're not forgetting about all of those who are making desktop-based software and mobile-based software using Qt. In Qt 5.4, we're bringing out a number of improvements both for Mac and for Windows. High DPI support is one of the things that we've been working a lot on that people have really been requesting a lot. Yosemite support OS X 10.10 has become really good now, and that is working very, very well. So a lot of stability fixes and improvements always ongoing for both, or for all of our platforms, but Mac got special attention this time around. And one of the things that long have been asked since we introduced Qt 5 on Windows is the dynamic GL switching. There has been a lot of deployment multiplication due to different GL contexts on different types of Windows machines. So now Qt will automatically detect what kind of accelerated graphics system you have on your Windows machine and install the correct type of library for all machines, so that you don't need to worry about multiple deployables. You don't need to worry about customers downloading and installing the correct version of your application. We will automatically now detect what kind of libraries you have available and what kind of acceleration you have available on that system. And another thing that is getting really nice is the integration with WinRT.
Yes, so WinRT or Windows runtime is now fully supported. So what we're actually talking about is that we have full support for Windows Store apps or applications. So Microsoft has these Windows Classic apps, and then they have Windows Store apps. And those Windows Store apps basically cover the Windows 8 desktop apps, but especially the Windows Phone applications, and then the Surface tablets, the ARM-based tablets that only run WinRT apps. So now you can create your Qt applications and deploy them to those platforms as well. Qt 5.4 fully supports the platform. We have all the major modules covered there, and it's also integrated directly into Qt Creator. So I think at the point when you deploy it to a store, you still want to do something in Visual Studio, but for all your kind of a development workflow, you're good to go with just within Qt Creator. For other mobile platforms, naturally, still doing a lot of improvements. Android and iOS have been supported for over 2 years for now, and for Android, one of the big items we introduced with Qt 5.4 is the native look and feel. So you can actually create user interfaces using the Qt Quick controls that adapt into the native Android style, and that looks really good. We are working for that for iOS as well. But in general, for both of these platforms, we've also done a lot of these tiny but important detail improvements in, for instance, for text selection and pop-up menus, and how do you mark text, how do you change selection in UI to kind of a better behave in the native style of the operating system. We also, Qt on Android runs extremely well also on Android Lollipop version, so no issues with that. We've improved a bit of the package sizes and startup time. Also, finally, we introduced the Tumblr element as well. That's a nice addition for mobile applications. Talking about these look and feels and styles, we also introduced the Qt Flatlight style. So, well, it's a style you can apply to your Qt Quick controls. You can use it on desktop, mobile, and embedded. And I'd say especially on embedded context, this gives you a really good, fresh look and feel, and also a nice example how to create your own look and feels. This is made by our professional designers, and it's really polished look and feel. Also, you can use this cross-platform, like if you don't want to make native look and feel, but you want to have your own custom UX across all those platforms in a harmonious way, then this is a good starting point for that. Okay, finally, let's go into the tools side and talk a bit about Qt Creator 3.3. This was released together with Qt 5.4. So a lot of smaller improvements. For instance, on Android, you can use the Gradle build system. We also introduced a new wizard engine. So if you want to extend Qt Creator with your own project wizards or wizard templates, you no longer need to write C++, but you can do it using scripts. We support Xcode 6 for OS X and iOS builds. The QML profiler has been improved. High DPI support is also applied to Qt Creator, so you can easily work with Qt Creator on those displays as well. And then the biggest thing, the Qt Quick Designer.
Yeah, I think the Qt Quick Designer has gotten a lot better in this version of Qt Creator. We've done a lot of changes to it, and most of them are not so visually striking. It looks pretty much the same as it used to do, but there is a certain significant architectural design change that we've made. And in the beginning, when we introduced QML, we wanted to have a designer tool that was very similar to the widget-based drag-and-drop designer that we always have had. And we wanted to be able to smoothly transition between writing QML code by hand and using the visual tool to edit those documents that you had edited by hand and then moving back and forth. But QML is such a powerful language, and it's completely unbounded. You can do whatever you want to do really with it. There are very few limits. And how a tool such as the visual designer would be able to understand all of those things, all of that JavaScript, all of those crazy ideas that good developers have was very difficult. So at this point, we've now moved into an architecture where the Qt QML designer tool and Qt Creator are working on a different set of files from the actual code that you're writing by hand. So now we have .ui.qml files that you can use to edit with the visual designer, whereas the .qml files you write by hand. Now, this is not different from what it used to be with regular QML. You can still use the QML files that you create with the visual designers as elements in the other files you have. You can nest them inside each other, so there is no limit to how you can use these, and they are still just as well integrated with the C++ side of things. You can integrate them, you can expose values to the rest of the QML files and to the C++ side. So this is a very natural evolution of the design tool for us and makes it a lot more powerful to use.
Yeah, and the nice thing about the new Qt Quick Designer is that it actually works. We've had some issues with it over the years with, let's say, larger UI files, but it's finally gotten the love that it deserves. Let's see, my screen apparently froze. Yeah.
Yeah, that is the power of PowerPoint. I'm sorry about that.
But hold on just a second. Well, we were actually anyway going to go to the summary on our next slide. Yeah, apparently. Oh.
Well,
yeah.
that is the live demo effect. It's even though it's only PowerPoint, it's what always happens when we're trying to do something live.
Yeah, but let's see if this still opens here up. Anyway, we were going to go to the summary. Yeah, I'll have it here. Just a second. So, features of Qt 5.4 that we went through. We talked about the new licensing options. So, LCPLv3 in the mobile. So make sure you're running the correct license. You can actually go to Qt.io and you can look at the licensing page and the download page to compare the different licenses to make sure you're running the correct version. We talked about our new web offering, so that besides native UIs, you can also extensively use HTML5 with the really powerful web engine offering. So for instance, if you're doing embedded devices and you want to add browser or dynamic contents there, Qt Web Engine is really, really good for that. We talked about IoT features, Bluetooth LE, and Qt Quick 2D renderer that allows you to run Qt Quick UIs without OpenGL support for larger install base. Also a lot of graphics improvements. So OpenGL is now nicely integrated into Qt Quick UIs, and the new Qt Canvas 3D module gives you a lightweight API for using WebGL-like 3D contents. Of course, a lot of improvements to desktop and mobile platforms, and a new Qt Creator version. Yesterday we released the 5.4.1. It's out now. You can get it from Qt.io/download or from your Qt account. And with this, I thank you for joining, and we still have time for questions.
Yeah. So we've gotten a couple of questions regarding WebKit and Web Engine, whether you can use the no-load HTML method like you could in WebKit, so that you can cache web pages. I think for the WebKit Web Engine technical questions, I'll have to refer those to one of the developers in that field. Feel free to send us any questions you have by email. We'll be happy to direct them to the right people and get back to you as quickly as possible. Other than that, it's been a little bit difficult to hear all the questions or see all the questions since we have a slightly shabby setup more than usual. I don't see any questions here. Somebody's asking if the QtWorldSummit.com webpage is up at the moment. Have we released that yet?
Yeah, it is. So you can go to QtWorldSummit.com. We've since far only announced the dates, but you can register yourself for notifications when we announce the call for speakers and the program. to hear more about it and when we open the registration. About the summit in general, the idea is that it will contain a developer day that goes through all the technical tips and tricks and new API stuff, but it also introduces a lot more generic talks around Qt and the related industries, HMI paradigms, and so forth. And as the summit is only in Germany, as a kind of a pre-event, we're doing a full US roadshow in May. You can also find the information about that from the same webpage. So we'll be visiting, I don't know, 2 or 3 locations all over the United States, and they're one-day events, and we're happy to meet you there live as well.
Yeah, and with that,
we're on mute.
I will.
There was another question that maybe it's I also.
Oh, okay, sorry. I had a bit of issues with mute here. So actually, we both were in mute for a minute. But anyway, there was a question about web engine on iOS. So as Niels explained, it doesn't make much sense on importing a new web browser engine to mobile platforms. So instead of using web engine, you should use the Qt web view there. So you can embed dynamic contents into your application, and then internally it's using the existing Safari engine of the iOS platform. Okay, we have recorded the session, and you're free to come back at it later, and also contact us by email or via our contact forms or forums. Anything else, Niels? Any questions?
Well, there's a lot of questions that are trickling in, so we will go through those afterwards as we have to round up now. But we're always appreciating your feedback and your questions, and we're hoping to hear more from you later. Thank you very much for being with us today. We have been privileged to have you listen to us, and we hope you will enjoy Qt 5.4 as much as we do. And yeah, good luck. So have a nice morning, evening.
Yeah, thank you very much. Have a nice day.